From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Monday morning. We have a first alert weather day not in place for today, but for Wednesday afternoon and evening in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be up around 55 to 60 miles per hour, but it's going to be pretty windy for today and tomorrow as well. So that's just kind of the stretch of weather that we find ourselves in. Right now, we are seeing some very light showers in the Blue Mountains and the Blue Foothills, maybe even a bit of a wintry mix up in some portions of the Blue Mountains. Snowfall accumulation should be pretty light over the next couple of days. Right now, temperatures in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, right around freezing at pass level in the Blue Mountains. The same thing can be said for the passes in the Cascades, specifically for U.S. Highway 12 there at White Pass. Here's your day planner for today for lower elevations. See, we're going to have chances of thunderstorms increasing throughout the day, especially for the basin and especially for the foothills and for the mountains. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. We'll have foothill and blue shower and thunderstorm chances likely for today and tomorrow. Very windy in the Kittitas Valley for the next few days, especially on Wednesday. And then we'll have showers and thunderstorms likely again as we head into this weekend. A very active pattern for this week. We'll talk about it more coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a no contact order violation leads to a SWAT response and multiple arrests. What police say escalated the scene.
And fire crews in Walla Walla are continuing to monitor a fire that ignited Thursday morning. Our Monique Ledesma spoke with the fire chief on what made this fire so challenging to extinguish and why it has investigators scratching their heads.
And the Washington Department of Transportation is sounding the alarm after multiple crashes in designated work zones last week. What they say drivers should do when approaching a work zone, and it's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It's Monday, May 12th, and we have new information coming in this morning.
That's right. A Kennewick man is behind bars after refusing to comply with officers during a felony investigation. Now, police were called to the 2100 block of North Steptoe Street. This happened Saturday for a disturbance where they found two people violating a no-contact order.
Yeah, one of them, Raymond Garcia, had a previous conviction for violating the same order. So when Garcia refused to leave the home, SWAT, K-9, and drones were all called in. During that standoff, a family member, Andrew Martinez, was also arrested after causing a disruption and trying to access a patrol car. Garcia later surrendered peacefully and was taken into custody. And the Washington State Patrol responded to a deadly crash in Benton County just after 11 on Friday. We're told 68-year-old James Sandel died after being taken to Cadlick. Officials say that he was driving east on State Route 24 when a vehicle heading west hit him. Two of the three people in that second vehicle were also taken to the hospital with injuries. The cause of that crash still under investigation.
In Fire Watch, Pasco firefighters were busy over the weekend after a vegetation fire reignited several times. The fire was first called out just after 6:30 Saturday night at the intersection of Road 68 and Chapel Hill Boulevard. Large flames, as you can see on your screen, could be seen in vegetation across from the Maverick gas station. Firefighters and Pasco PD were on the scene just moments after the call. High winds caused the fire to spread quickly and heavy smoke poured across the road. And this caused visibility issues. Police shut down a section of Road 68 while fire crews worked to put out those flames. Firefighters were called 2 other times to the scene due to it reigniting overnight. Now, Sunday morning, fire crews were seen putting water on the area and digging up hot spots, and they continue to monitor the evening well into Sunday evening, that is.
And in Benton County Fire District 1, crews there responding to a pair of brush fires along eastbound I-82 over the weekend. Apple Valley News Now was at the scene. Take a look. This happened Saturday evening. The call came in around 5:41. This is just south of East Locust Grove Road. Now, when firefighters got there, they found 2 small fires burning along the highway. A nearby dirt road actually helped stop the fire from spreading, acting like a natural fire break. Crews had the flames under control by just after 6 o'clock, but they stayed on scene for a couple of hours as they monitored those hot spots.
Now, fire crews in Walla Walla returning to a fire scene yesterday that ignited, or this morning, I should say, that ignited late Thursday night near the Walla Walla VA.
Yeah, Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma reports on what investigators suspect may have caused that fire and why.
Walla Walla Fire Department received the calls about the flames at 8 o'clock Thursday night. Fire Chief Eric Wood says the crews battled the blazes until about 11:30 p.m. and were able to stop it from spreading.
The fire was still fairly small, about an acre in size, but it was actively burning and kind of made it difficult for us to access. So it took us a little bit before we could get in and actually start fighting the fire.
Wood says once they were able to make access, the crew established an action plan.
We used direct fire attack and we were able to extend hose lines off of our engines and kind of go direct on the fire line edge.
Wood says they used mutual aid from the Walla Walla County Fire District 4.
4 engines on scene last night and up to 3 water tenders that we utilized. And this morning we had an engine from the U.S. Forest Service, an engine from our agency, as well as a water tender from Fire District 4.
Wood says when crews returned to continue the mop-up of the scene around 9 in the morning Friday, they also had an investigation team out on the scene as well.
We're unsure exactly what caused the fire. It's suspicious in nature and presumed to be human caused. Yeah, there's just no other ignition sources in the area that would have caused the fire. We do have a history of intentional fire starts in this area. That's what led us to that suspicion.
Wood says they monitored the area over the weekend and are returning to the scene this morning. Reporting in Walla Walla, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. Now, no one was reported hurt due to the fire, and Wood says they will continue to investigate this fire.
5:06 now, taking you to Yakima, where the City Council is holding a public hearing with a couple of notable items on the docket. They're set to review and adopt the amended 6-year transportation improvement program. They'll also amend the capital facilities element of the Yakima Urban Area Comprehensive Plan, and that'll be for the period of 2025 to 2030. Now, each year the city prepares, reviews, and adopts a program for transportation improvements for the ensuing 6-year period as required by state and federal law. After it's adopted, it'll be incorporated as an amendment to the Yakima Urban Area Comprehensive Plan Capital Facilities element. The public hearing will be Tuesday, June 3rd at 6 p.m. It'll take place in the council chambers at Yakima City Hall.
Now, the telecommunications network in Western Washington is set to undergo a significant change as the 564 area code will be used to relieve the 206 area code. Now, the change is part of a broader effort to ensure that calls are routed correctly and to address the exhaustion of available numbers in the region. The 564 area code was first introduced in 2017 to provide relief to the 360 area code. Now, the 564 will be extended to cover the 206 area, and the implementation of this has already begun, with new customers potentially being assigned a number in the 564 area code starting in June.
Well, the family of Adam Garrison has identified him as the motorcyclist severely hurt in that hit-and-run crash on State Route 240 that happened Wednesday morning. We've been telling you about it. They've now launched a fundraising campaign to support his recovery.
The crash happened around 7 a.m. on eastbound 240 just west of Edison Street in Kennewick, and it involved a motorcycle and an older red SUV similar to a GMC Yukon. Now, the car may have rear-end damage and was seen driving away from the crash. On his GoFundMe page, Garrison's family says he suffered a shattered pelvis, ruptured bladder, and 2 broken arms. Now, if you would like to help, we have posted the GoFundMe up on our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
Well, Washington State's Department of Transportation says they've seen a troubling trend this past week across the state. Multiple crashes happening inside of work zones.
And one of those crashes even injured a contractor on the job. Now, these incidents not only damage cars and delay critical road work, they hurt real people just trying to make our roads safer.
Yeah, WashDOT is reminding drivers that work zones aren't just construction sites, they're workplaces. And the consequences of unsafe driving are all too real.
They say when you see orange cones or flashing lights, remember to slow down, also move over, stay alert, and drive sober. Adding that work zones are temporary, but the choices made behind the wheel can have lasting impacts.
5:09 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Talks with China took place in Switzerland over the weekend. U.S. and Chinese officials saying they've reached an agreement to significantly reduce tariffs. Coming up, we'll have the details on that meeting and what the next 90 days could look like for consumers.
But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Double your runtime. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tools. Shop in-store and online.
Triple play! Triple play! Wow! Rob even makes two-pointers look cool!
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Triple play!
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
You were the last person to see the president alive.
He was trying to warn me.
Agent Collins, you're the only one I really trust.
Check out the Ellensburg Bowl. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Last night we certainly saw quite the complex of showers move through the region, specifically from about like 6 p.m. onward. It didn't look like there was too much lightning involved with that, but we will certainly have the chance for that for today. Right now temperatures in the 30s and 40s in Kittitas County and Yakima County, spanning from 34 to 41. And the lower Columbia Basin looks like we're bouncing between 40 to 47. In the Blue Foothills, mostly in the low to mid 40s, and we're seeing 30s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. So it could be, we could actually have a bit of a rain snow mix on I-84 or US 395 and certainly for Oregon 204. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. We're going to teeter-totter between light jacket and rain jacket weather throughout the day. You see, it's not going to be nearly as warm as what we saw just this past Friday and Saturday, as highs are actually going to be about 5 to 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year. So for today, widespread showers and thunderstorms. The best chances are going to be in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains. And like I mentioned, the highs are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal. That means 60s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s up in the mountains. And then for tonight, we'll continue to hang on to shower and thunderstorm chances. Once again, it's going to be the foothills and the mountains where we'll see the best chances of that, and overnight lows falling down into the 40s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the mountains. Something I didn't talk about during this segment in particular, the winds. That is going to be a big issue for today, tomorrow, and especially for Wednesday. I'll tell you just how strong they could be for all 3 days coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. It is 5:14, and in your national headlines this morning, talks with China took place in Switzerland over the weekend. And according to U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, there will be substantial progress during the session.
The White House says it has reached an agreement with Beijing to roll back most of the tariffs on each other's goods. Christiane Cordero has more details.
This morning, the escalating trade war between the U.S. and China is on ice, both sides concluding 2 days of talks in Geneva with an agreement to cut reciprocal tariffs for 90 days. President Trump had previously raised the tax imposed on Chinese imports to 145%, China retaliating with a 125% tariff, essentially halting trade between the world's two largest economies.
What had occurred with these very high tariffs, as Ambassador Greer said, was the equivalent of an embargo, and neither side wants that. We do want trade. We want more balanced trade.
Trade between the U.S. and China last year topped $660 billion. The talks this weekend were the first time both sides met face-to-face to negotiate. China last week said in order to have substantive negotiations, Trump would have to bring the 145% tariff down, which he said he would not do. The 90-day pause both sides just agreed to brings the tax on products from China into the U.S. down to roughly 30%, depending on the product and sector. Tariffs on U.S. imports to China has, for now, dropped to 10%.
That leaves us in a very good position all in with respect to measures on Chinese imports, but more importantly, leaves us in a constructive path forward to have a positive conversation with the Chinese on how to rebalance and have more constructive trade.
Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Now, a spokesperson for China's Commerce Ministry called the meeting, quote, an important step by both sides to resolve differences.
In a joint statement, the two sides have agreed to establish a mechanism to continue discussions about economics and trade relations. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, and he'll break down your first alert forecast as we start the week on this Monday morning. It is 5:16, giving you a live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. We're back right after the break.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
Did you know Tri-City Lumber Company isn't just for contractors? We're your local source for decking, railing, hardware, and more, open to everyone. For over 30 years, DIYers and homeowners have trusted us for quality materials and expert one-on-one advice. Now, under new ownership, we're making it even easier to shop local and build better. Skip the big box stores. Visit Tri-City Lumber today on Clearwater and Kennewick, or call us at 509-783-3322 today.
For 60 years, Woods Nursery has been inspiring families to create beautiful, joyful gardens in our community. Spanning 5 acres, it's one of the largest nurseries in southeastern Washington, offering a vast selection of plants, trees, and flowers, all grown in the USA. Explore handcrafted ornamental pieces made by American artisans, and get expert guidance from 3 generations of the Wood family, dedicated to helping you design stunning landscapes. Visit us today and discover everything you need to bring your outdoor space to life.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kinda is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Hi, I'm renovation expert Scott McGilvery. I know bath remodeling, and I've seen all the gimmicks. Buy now, half off, free installation. This is why I work with Bath Fitter. With 40 years of experience and 2 million installs, I trust their integrity. Bath Fitter gives you a fair price and sticks to it with a lifetime warranty. You don't need gimmicks, just a partner you can trust. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have a first alert weather day for Wednesday afternoon and evening in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be up around 55 to 60 miles per hour. But even for today, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., some of those peak winds up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, peak wind gusts, that is. And then for tomorrow, we're going to run it back 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. At this point, some of those peak wind gusts up around 55 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Then, of course, the main time frame, the main event's going to be on Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some of those peak gusts up around 60 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. They'll be around 50 miles per hour in the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County, but really widespread breezy and windy conditions. Now let's show you some of the rainfall that's going to be associated with this storm system that's bringing all the tough wind gusts. And this is going to be constant action over the next 48 hours, so I'll do my best to give you a play-by-play here. Later this morning, starting to see some more showers and thunderstorms impacting the Bluefoot Hills. By 2 p.m., you're starting to see now some showers and thunderstorms back building off towards the west of there. And at the peak of daytime heating, maybe dealing with another complex of showers and thunderstorms for the lower Columbia Basin. That slides down to our south and east as we head into the late evening, overnight hours. Bit of a lull in the action very briefly overnight, but into the early morning hours of tomorrow, that's when we'll have another round of showers, and that could impact the basin as soon as 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, the late morning hours down into the Bluefoot Hills and the Blue Mountains, and then potentially another round at the peak of daytime heating, another round of showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. That could linger into the late evening for tomorrow, but by Wednesday we should be much drier. So that was a lot. Here are some of the rainfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. Could have some very tangible amounts up towards Moses Lake, Ritzville, down in the Bluefoot Hills and the Blue Mountains, but not much doing at all for the Cascades, for the valleys, or for the lower Columbia Basin, specifically down towards the Tri-Cities or Hermiston. Will dry out, like I mentioned, as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. More unsettled weather expected for this weekend, specifically on Saturday. High temperatures not doing much over the next 7 days, staying mostly normal, if not a few degrees cooler than normal. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower and thunderstorm chances today and tomorrow, then dry and seasonal for Wednesday through Friday. In Yakima, a fairly dry forecast with very normal high temperatures for mid-May. In Ellensburg, very windy over the next few days, with the peak being on Wednesday afternoon and evening. For Hermiston, showers and storms likely today, a few leftover showers possible tomorrow, but drier for Wednesday and Thursday. Then for Walla Walla, showers and storms likely today, a little bit less likely tomorrow, dry for Wednesday and Thursday, then trending more active again as we head into the weekend.
Thanks so much, Josh. 5:22 coming up after the break. We have your entertainment headlines, and we're going to break down the latest in the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial and Kim Kardashian preparing to take the stand after being robbed in Paris. Those stories and more coming up right after the break.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck, our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter.
The Heavy Hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
At Fred's, discover the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer, the industry exclusive. 2 ways to sanitize. Remove bacteria and sanitize your way with the Cold Sanitize option, paired with Lysol Laundry Sanitizer, or use the NSF Certified Hot Sanitize setting, the most efficient washer on the market. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
Looking for the perfect spot to relax? Welcome to Hoops, your new favorite restaurant and bar, where the vibe is clean, the food is delicious, and the staff always friendly. Whether you're in for a night of trivia, around a pool, darts, dancing, pull tabs, or karaoke, Hoops has it all. Great food, great people, Hoops, where every night is a great experience. Hoops Bar. Stop by today for your next great night out.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Check out the Ellensburg Bowl. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines, actor Jeff Bridges is providing a health update about 5 years after battling cancer.
Yeah, the 75-year-old says overall he's feeling good. However, Bridges also contracted COVID-19 and is still feeling the long-term effects from that, he says. He also says COVID has affected his sense of smell, and he says he often has memory issues.
Bridges says his experience with COVID was much worse than his battle with lymphoma. Wow. Bridges is still working.
The Oscar winner recently wrapped up his FX series called The Old Man and is set to appear in the third installment of the Tron franchise, which is out later this year.
Some high-profile trials involving celebrities are underway in New York and in Paris right now.
Opening statements are expected today in the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial.
And Kim Kardashian is preparing to testify about being robbed in Paris. David Daniel has the latest in today's Hollywood Minute.
Final jury selection and opening statements are expected today in New York in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of sex trafficking, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, and 1 count of racketeering conspiracy. He could face life in prison if convicted. Combs rejected a proposed plea deal before the trial began. Across the Atlantic, Kim Kardashian is set to testify Tuesday in the trial of her alleged armed robbers. In 2016, a gang bound and gagged Kardashian, locked her in the bathroom of her Paris apartment, and stole jewelry worth nearly $10 million, including a 20-carat diamond engagement ring from her then-husband Kanye West. Kardashian has called it the scariest thing that's ever happened to her. 10 people are on trial, charged with armed robbery, kidnapping, and criminal conspiracy. 8 of the defendants have denied the charges. It's believed to be France's biggest robbery ever of an individual person. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And in more courtroom news in Hollywood, Taylor Swift has been subpoenaed in the case between actress Blake Lively and her It Ends With Us director and co-star Justin Baldoni.
Now, Swift is a longtime friend of Lively's. She was first mentioned in connection to the ongoing legal dispute when text messages between Swift and Lively were revealed. The texts were reportedly brought up in connection with Baldoni's $400 million defamation countersuit against Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds.
Lively has accused Baldoni of sexual harassment and retaliation. Baldoni has denied the allegations. She also claimed that Baldoni orchestrated a social media campaign to hurt her reputation while they were promoting their 2024 film.
Meanwhile, Baldoni has accused Reynolds of assisting Lively in hijacking his film and trying to take down his career. That is just the battle that does not end.
Yeah, it doesn't end with them, doesn't end with us. It'll end next year with the trial.
There we go. Well, I'll be here for it.
Yep.
All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Cracking down on crime, Pasco police seize guns and drugs in a major street-level sweep. Coming up, the enforcement efforts that are making an impact.
And the Academy of Children's Theater in Richland had their opening night over the weekend, and they came and spoke with our Apple Valley News Now team to tell us all about Disney's The Descendants, the musical. Details are coming up, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple could release a host of brand new products in 2027. Bloomberg is reporting Apple could debut a foldable iPhone model, as well as one with a curved screen. Apple's smart glasses could also come out, as well as a tabletop robotic arm. Pope Leo says AI played a role in the selection of his papal name. Over the weekend, he cited an 1891 letter by the last Pope Leo, which warned of technology's advancements and the potential effects on the working class. The Pope said AI poses challenges to defending human dignity. And the auto world is about to go back to the future. A German professor is planning to revive the Yugo with a drivable prototype perhaps debuting in 2027. Once anointed the worst car in history, the vehicle died out nearly 2 decades ago and was made in the former nation of Yugoslavia. So does that mean the new Yugo comes with a check engine light? Those are your Tech Bites.
Do you own a dishwasher but only use it for storage or as a drying rack? Get better results than hand washing with your dishwasher and Cascade Complete. Your dishwasher does the work for you with temperatures up to 140 degrees, too hot for hands. Some dishwashers even have a sanitizing cycle. Load pots, pans, and tableware at the bottom with plastic and glassware on top. Cascade Complete removes visible and invisible residue for virtually spot-free and shiny dishes. Switch to your dishwasher and Cascade Complete.
Upset stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Iberogast.
Our brains are incredible, but memory can get complicated. That's why we created new Nariva Memory 3D. It supports your short-term, long-term, and working memory. Take it from me. An elephant never forgets. Remember Nariva.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Josh Colbert.
You're bringing the heat, cash-wise and temperature-wise.
It's really not going to be that hot this week.
How okay, let's bring back the heat.
Yeah, temperature's going to be in the mid-70s, but cash-wise, speaking my language now. Let's go ahead and show you the 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. I went with the forecast high on Friday of 83 in Pasco Tri-Cities, and it verified at 81, so the jackpot is now up to $525. So here are the stakes for today. I'm going with a much cooler, very room temperature, high temperature forecast of 68 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 65 to 71, the jackpot's going to go up to $550. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now we pivot to Wednesday. It's going to be a first alert weather day for the afternoon and evening in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. We'll have a lot more to say about that later in the show. But now let's go back to this morning. First alert radar just showing some very light showers in the Bluefoot Hills and the Blue Mountains of Morrow County. Some of that getting into Umatilla County as well. The rest of us are dry for now. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 30s up in the mountains, right around freezing for Cabbage Hill, Meacham, White Pass, so it could be a little bit frosty, or we could even see a wintry mix in some of those areas as some of that precip works its way in. Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. We'll have a little chance of a shower during the late morning, much better chances of showers as we head into the late afternoon to early evening. So for today, temperatures in the 60s for lower elevations. That means we're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. Showers and thunderstorms looking likely in the Bluefoot Hills and the Blue Mountains. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:33 and starting in Pasco this morning, where there are efforts underway to try to reduce street-level crime. The Pasco Police Department's Street Crime Unit says they have been engaged in targeted enforcement operations that are focused on just that, keeping the streets safe. They say they've recovered multiple firearms that were illegally possessed, and they've done that over the recent weeks, as well as large quantities of illegal drugs like fentanyl and cocaine. Pasco police also credit proactive investigations and strategic enforcement as playing a key role in enhancing public safety.
In more crime news this morning, a man is now facing charges after allegedly impersonating a police officer and trying to pull over drivers in central Washington. Troopers say 62-year-old Ronald Cohen of Spokane used red and blue dash lights attempting to make a traffic stop on Chumstock Highway near Leavenworth. The same car tried again near Dryden, but the driver took a photo and contacted police, and troopers tracked down Cohen near Quincy and arrested him without incident. He's now charged with criminal impersonation.
5:34, and Representative Dan Newhouse and Zoe Lofgren of California reintroduced the Bipartisan Farm Workforce Modernization Act to reform the H-2A visa program and establish a strong legal immigration workforce for agricultural producers. Now, Newhouse said that the workforce crisis has come to a boiling point for farmers across the country. He adds that reintroducing this act sends a clear message to farmers that politicians are working to find solutions to ease the burdens brought on by the current state of the H-2A program. Newhouse also says this legislation is necessary to lay the groundwork for continued negotiations. The legislation passed the House of Representatives with strong bipartisan support in the 116th and 117th Congresses.
3 local educators are being recognized for their ability to create supportive, impactful, and inclusive learning environments for their students. These are the Benton Franklin County Special Education PTA Educator Award winners. That includes Alyssa Deems, Jacob Snell, and Jenny Cowell. The Educator Awards are presented to service providers, educators, and staff over 9 districts who are making an impact on the lives of students with disabilities.
5:35 now, and the Academy of Children's Theater in Richland is putting on Disney's The Descendants, the musical.
So opening night was this weekend, but if you missed it, you can still catch the show this Friday and well into the weekend. So taking a quick look at the cast, Bonnie Fairfield is playing Mal, Sailor Jackson will play Evie, James Rowden is Jay, and Tegan Maxwell will play Carlos. Also, Grant Milbauer is performing as Ben.
Yes, some of the cast members visited us right here at the station before their big debut to talk about what the audience can expect.
Descendants is about like 4 kids of 4 evil parents.
I think it's a very funny show and everyone should come and see it.
It's just been like the thing I do kind of outside of school, and so I've just been doing as many as I can because I love it.
This is a lot more fantasy and fun and goofy and cartoony, and it's really fun.
They just do a great job of taking us through this like fun fantasy world.
And tickets can be bought at the door or online. The next show will be on the 16th with continuing shows on the 17th and 18th.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Sure does. All right, the Grandview Police Department is getting Cash.
So Cash is a 1-year-old German Shepherd that will complete 8 weeks of training to become the city's first drug-sniffing dog. Now, the Man in Black is the newest canine member and is from the Czech Republic and was purchased through donations.
Yeah, police say having canines to help in investigations is critical to keeping the community safe.
And that is a great picture. It goes really hard.
I love that. I know.
And coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, a Washington family is suing Safeway after their mother lost her life due to an alleged mislabeling of cookies. We have all the details coming up in just a few minutes.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
One of the best female groups of all time, En Vogue, in concert. Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel. The multiple Grammy Award nominees with more than 20 million records sold worldwide. En Vogue. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss En Vogue live Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Looking for a trusted professional to guide you through your real estate endeavors?
Carrie Lundgren with River Realty is ready to guide you through the process. As a lifelong Tri-Cities resident with 35 years real estate experience, she has the knowledge, dedication, and enthusiasm to make your real estate dreams come true. Whether you are buying your first home, moving up or scaling back, or looking for an investment, she has got you covered. Call Carrie today at 509-948-0580 and start making your dreams a reality.
There's working you. And then there's chill you. Chill you is more carefree and curious, more present, more relaxed, more fun. Chill you is the best you. There you are. Bring back your chill you with an escape to Coeur d'Alene, the city by the lake. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers? Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
Disney night continues.
Tonight, Idol's bringing more Disney magic with Lin-Manuel Miranda mentoring from Disneyland.
You've got the magic.
Guillaume Donkey performs and find out which 3 will compete in the grand finale. American Idol, live tonight on ABC.
This morning, the secret lives of Mormon wives. 2 of the women behind the smash hit are here live on GMA. So, what will they reveal about the new stunning season about to drop? This morning, they're live on Good Morning America.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County, where it's going to be very windy for today, especially in Ellensburg. Winds, peak wind gusts could be up around 50 miles per hour. High is going to be around 50 up towards Snoqualmie Pass in the mid-60s for Ellensburg. And we'll have about 20 to 30% shower chances in this part of our viewing area. In the Yakima Valley, these winds also out of the north and west, peak gust around 30 miles per hour. Highs are likely going to be just a little shy of 70 degrees. Low end shower chances. There's slightly better shower and thunderstorm chances in the lower Columbia Basin. These breezes out of the south and west peaking around 30 miles per hour. Certainly going to be a lot more windy in the Blue Foothills, especially in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. These winds out of the south and west peaking around 40 miles per hour. And showers and thunderstorms going to be the most likely today in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains. Now let's talk about the big picture, but we're going to do it a little bit different for today. We're not going to show you water year numbers or snowpack numbers or reservoir levels. Now let's talk about what our vegetation dryness is looking like. Yeah, it's about that time of the year. These numbers, these metrics are given to you in percentiles. So the 100th percentile would be the driest vegetation we've had since 2005. We're in the 63rd percentile right now for the Cascades, Kittitas Valley, and Upper Valley. So that would be dry. We're not all that dry in the basin, in the foothills, or in the Blues, but it is dry enough to have small vegetation fires. But in terms of large wildfires, we're not there just yet. And thankfully, we do have rainfall on the way, which is going to help these numbers out. I'll show you some of those chances coming up in a few minutes.
542, thanks so much, Josh. A family in Washington state here says they're taking legal action against a grocery store chain after their 78-year-old mom passed away from a severe allergic reaction.
Now, they say it was a mislabeled cookie from the store that led to her death. Natalie Swaby has a story.
Growing up with her, she was just always filled with joy and fun.
Lisa Bishop is talking about her mother, Peggy Bryant, who was just months away from a marriage milestone.
She and my dad were going to celebrate 60 years. They were high school sweethearts.
The 78-year-old passed away on April 7, 2023, after a shopping trip in Duval at this Safeway.
They bought cookies my mom loved, oatmeal raisin cookies.
Lisa says the Safeway brand oatmeal raisin cookies were mislabeled, and her mom knew it after one bite.
She realized that the cookie she was eating was actually a peanut butter cookie, and she's deathly allergic to nuts, peanuts.
She was rushed to the hospital
and passed away within an hour.
The family called on the coroner for a full report.
When they got the blood results back, he said it was clearly anaphylaxis. Her blood vessels had basically broken down.
The health department did an inspection and requested a recall, something Safeway did with this notice going out. After what happened, this daughter is determined.
Do the right thing, and I don't want it to happen to anybody else. You know, labels are there for a reason, and I don't want anybody else to die from mislabeling.
Peggy's loved ones are taking legal action, claiming the company's error forever changed a family.
The last few minutes of my mom's life were tragic and awful and painful.
It's heartbreaking. Well, at this time, Safeway and its attorneys have not commented on the lawsuit.
And coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. And Josh will be back with your full First Alert weather forecast. Keep it right here.
My family's been serving the Tri-Cities for 86 years at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores.
And we have some deals we don't want you to miss.
Black Flag insect killers, your choice, 2 for $10. Tomato and pepper plants are a steal at $4.99. Miracle Grow organic potting mix, 36% off at 2 for $14. Stock up on HTH Pool Shock, 59% off at only $3.49. See all the deals using this QR code. Come see us at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And thank you for your business.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
What makes New unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients. They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to newuwomensclinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
Stacy Lee, Cap KVU First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Wednesday afternoon and evening going to be a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts could be up around 55 to 60 miles per hour, but it's going to be pretty windy for today as well. 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. peak gust up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. For tomorrow, also pretty windy. 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. peak wind gusts up around 55 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, but that main time frame going to be on Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. as some of those peak gusts up around 60 miles per hour. Even the Blue Foothills of Morrow County going to be up around 50 miles per hour. But really across the map for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to see some pretty breezy and windy conditions. And it's going to be associated with a storm system that will bring us shower and thunderstorm chances over the next 48 hours. Let's go ahead and time that out with Futurecast. This is going to look like splatter paint at times as there's going to be pretty nonstop action over the next 48 hours. This is by the late morning showers and thunderstorms in the Blue Foothills, the Blue Mountains, into the afternoon and evening. Some of those starting to backfill, getting into the valleys and the basin now. And that'll spread down towards the south and east as we head into the evening. The overnight hours should be a brief little lull in the action before, by the early morning hours for tomorrow, another round of showers sweeping from the northwest towards the south and east. And then as we head into the afternoon, maybe another round of showers and thunderstorms. So you kind of get the gist. It's just going to be nonstop action over the next 48 hours within our region. It would be a great day, great set of days to have that Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app downloaded. You can see the precip chances and timing in your neck of the woods. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting over the next 48 hours. A couple different hot spots in the Blue Foothills, the Blue Mountains, also to our north, places like Moses Lake and Ritzville. We'll dry it out for Wednesday and Thursday. Then it looks like more unsettled weather is going to be in our future for this weekend, especially on Saturday. But in the meantime, high temperatures staying pretty normal over the next 7 days. No real big fluctuations. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower and thunderstorm chances today and tomorrow, then dry and seasonal for Wednesday through Friday. In Yakima, fairly dry forecast with very normal high temperatures for mid-May. And then for Ellensburg, very windy over the next few days, with the peak being on Wednesday afternoon and evening. Then for Hermiston, showers and storms likely today. A few leftover showers possible tomorrow, but drier for Wednesday and Thursday. Then for Walla Walla, showers and storms likely today, a little bit less likely tomorrow. Dry for Wednesday and Thursday, then trending more active again as we head into the weekend.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:50. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
Here are the top 5 local things that you need to know as you head out the door this morning. A Kennewick man is in custody after a felony standoff over the weekend. Officers say Raymond Garcia violated a no-contact order, then refused to come out of a home on North Steptoe. SWAT, drones, and K-9 were all called in. A family member was also arrested for disrupting the scene. Garcia eventually surrendered peacefully and was taken into custody.
A fire near the Walla Walla VA prompted a major response Friday night. Crews say the flames broke out around 8:30 p.m. and were contained to about an acre. It took until nearly midnight to get it under control. No injuries were reported and the cause is under investigation.
In Benton County, Fire District 1 crews responded to a pair of brush fires along eastbound I-82. This happened Saturday evening around 5:40. It was just south of the East Locust Grove Road exit. Firefighters got there. They found 2 small fires burning along the highway. A dirt road actually helped stop the fire from spreading further, acting like a natural fire break. Crews had those flames under control by just after 6, but stayed at the scene for a couple of hours to monitor hotspots.
Pasco police say their targeted enforcement is making an impact. The Street Crimes Unit has recovered many illegally possessed firearms and large amounts of drugs. This includes fentanyl and cocaine in the last few weeks. Officers are crediting proactive investigations and strategic enforcement across the city.
Now, Washington State's Department of Transportation says they have seen a troubling trend over the past week across the state. Multiple crashes happening inside of work zones. One of those crashes even injuring a contractor on the job. These incidents not only damage vehicles and delay road work, but they hurt people who are just out trying to make our roads safer. WashDOT is reminding drivers that work zones aren't just construction sites, but they are workplaces, and the consequences of unsafe driving are all too real. They say when you see orange cones or flashing lights, slow down, move over, stay alert, and drive sober. They say work zones may be temporary, but the choices made behind the wheel can have lasting impacts.
In your national headlines this morning, about 100,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square for Pope Leo's first public address in the Vatican City. He called for an authentic, just, and lasting peace in Ukraine, as well as a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages. He also called for humanitarian aid to be provided in Gaza, and he told the crowd he was there to deliver a message of peace and led the faithful in the Regina Caeli prayer for the first time. Larger crowds are expected to fill the square during Pope Leo's installation mass, which will take place on May 18th.
5:53 in your business headlines this morning. Google will pay the state of Texas $1.4 billion over alleged privacy violations. According to the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, the tech giant secretly tracked people's movements, private searches, and they did it all through their products and services. He said Google tracked people's voice prints and facial geometry. And a recall alert as Yamaha is recalling nearly 40,000 power adapters because they may pose a burn and fire risk. The AC power adapters were sold with the company's digital pianos and music workstations. The company says they can overheat and ignite, posing burn and fire hazards. The model number for the recalled power adapters is PA300C. They were sold at music stores nationwide and online between September of 2010 and November of 2014. The adapters were also sold separately as a service repair part. They were also built into certain Yamaha brand digital pianos. The company has received 4 reports of the adapters burning or smoking. No injuries, though, have been reported.
In your health headlines this morning, the FDA has approved new food color additives after a push to remove harmful artificial coloring. They're Galdieria Extract Blue, Butterfly Pea Flower Extract, and Calcium Phosphate. According to the agency, Galdieria Extract Blue is a type of red algae that's found in volcanic hot springs or a large crater. Butterfly Pea Flower Extract is a blue color, and it's made from the water that's extracted from the dried flower petals of the plant. That dye has already been approved to use in sport and fruit drinks along with other beverages. Lastly, calcium phosphate is white and also been approved to use in chicken products and candies. And the FDA has announced a new screening tool for cervical cancer. It has okayed an at-home test that'll allow patients to collect their own vaginal samples for screening. The health company Teal Health created the device called the Teal Wand, and after a woman collects her samples, she would then mail it to a lab for testing for HPV. Most cervical cancers are caused by HPV, and screening can help identify women who may be at risk of developing cancer. Trending this morning, sometimes even ducks need a little help crossing the road, especially when it's the freeway.
Yeah, thanks to Washington State Patrol and WashDOT, a mother duck and her little ducklings got some much needed assistance getting their ducks in a row. Take a look.
Wait, don't pull.
Oh, too cute.
The trooper stopped when seeing the struggling mom, temporarily stopping traffic actually to help the feathered family waddle to safety.
Good.
A Department of Transportation crew member quickly stepped in, assisting in the rescue.
Together, they were able to get Mama and her ducklings to the other side of the road, away from the bustling cars, proving that not all heroes wear capes. Some wear uniforms and some carry traffic cones. Too cute.
I love
when ducks are crossing. It just makes my day.
I know. We get them sometimes, you know, outside the station, like going across Edison.
Oh, what? I don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Even closer.
I need to find these spots.
Like there's Edison, and I'm blanking on the name of like
Clearwater?
No, not on Clearwater. Like if you go out of our,
way you're pointing.
if you go outside of our gravel parking lot, this road that connects with Edison.
Oh, just our.
Guess it's just
main
like the
road right
drive.
here.
Anyway,
Yeah.
there are ducks over there too.
Oh,
how cute! I love
they're
it.
cute. And now they're safe. Yeah, that's good. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest at 6 o'clock. A man posing as a law enforcement officer tried to pull drivers over. We're gonna let you know how he finally got caught.
Plus, a new area code is coming to Western Washington, what it means for dialing local numbers. That's coming up in just a few minutes. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, we have some very strong wind gusts on the way, specifically for Wednesday. A first alert weather day in place. I'll tell you for who coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.